Structured educational environments aren't for everyone, and just because you opt out of school doesn't mean you're destined for failure. In fact, some of your favorite celebrities have dropped out of school at some point. Stay tuned to see which well-spoken and intelligent celebs didn't graduate high school. New to the taco? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to get the latest on your favorite celebs. But for now, let's take a look at 10 surprising celebs who dropped out of school. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is one of those celebrities that most people find funny and relatable. She's also someone you'd probably assume finished middle school. When she was only 14 years old, Jennifer Lawrence made the decision to drop out of middle school to pursue her career as an actress. She never looked back and to this day has not received a high school diploma, nor has she gotten her GED. However, she has starred in many blockbuster films, including playing Mystique in X-Men and Katniss in the Hunger Games franchise. According to Lawrence, when she began acting, she immediately knew that was most important in her life. Even her friends didn't mean as much to her as her career did. She decided that she didn't want anything, even her education, to get in the way of her dreams. Lawrence claimed that even when she was enrolled in school, she was a poor student, and none of her lessons made as much sense to her as reading a script did. When asked if she regrets her decision to drop out, Lawrence is adamant that she made the right decision for her. Since she would then go on to become an Oscar winner before the age of 30, it's hard to say she didn't make a good choice in retrospect. Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is known for playing some of our favorite characters we love to swoon over, but this Hollywood heartthrob wasn't as successful in school as he is now with the ladies. By the time he was in 5th grade, he was having substantial struggles getting by in school. Things got so dire that his mother pulled him out of school with the hope that she could homeschool him herself and gave him more one-on-one attention. But even that didn't work out for Gosling, and when he was 17, he quit trying to get an education in favor of pursuing an acting career. So, what role did he abandon his education for? It was the 90s revival of the Mickey Mouse Club, where he worked with Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, and Britney Spears, who you might have heard of. He auditioned for the part on a whim and was surprised when he landed the role. That gig led to another, and before he knew it, he was a successful actor. While some actors claim that they knew they were meant to be performers, Gosling claims that it was just something he fell into, and he feels he could be equally suitable at other careers as well. Leonardo DiCaprio. You might have thought it was adorable when you saw Leonardo DiCaprio's high school yearbook photo, but did you know that he never made it to his graduation? That's right, the obscenely successful and celebrated DiCaprio is one of the many Hollywood stars who never finished school. Perhaps even more shocking is that he admits that he also had trouble talking to girls as a teenager. Apparently, he got over that phase. After his junior year of high school, he decided that he had experienced enough of anything not related to acting. He did continue his studies, but at a local drama center instead of a high school classroom. Success started out slowly for DiCaprio, and he started out acting in commercials. His first breakthrough role was in the 1990s sitcom Growing Pains, and before he knew it, he was playing Jack in Titanic. Becoming a successful actor is no easy feat, but DiCaprio does more than that. This high school dropout was appointed Messenger of Peace by the United Nations, and had the honor of addressing world leaders at a UN climate summit. That's quite the distinguished accomplishment for someone who never got their hands on their high school diploma. Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna did drop out of high school, but that didn't stop her from making it to Harvard University. Before she began absolutely dominating the music industry, she was growing up in a religious community in Barbados. There, she attended Combermere High School, and in 2004, she competed in her school's beauty pageant. If you're laughing at the thought of edgy Rihanna being in a pageant, you should know that she ended up taking home the coveted title of Miss Combermere. And for the talent portion, she performed the Mariah Carey song Hero. But sadly, her relationship with school just wasn't meant to be. Although she claimed that she always intended to finish school, opportunity came knocking. When she was signed to Def Jam, she left school to concentrate on her new career. Years later, she showed up at Harvard University to receive the Harvard Foundation Award for Humanitarian of the Year. The dean praised her for her talent and the way she inspired and empowered listeners. Yes, she did drop out of school, but in addition to her musical career, she accomplished many things. At the age of only 18, she founded the Believe Foundation, which helps critically ill children. She also established the Clara Lionel Foundation, which assists people suffering from cancer. Johnny Depp. Many parents hope that their children will follow in their footsteps, but not Johnny Depp. He was distraught to learn that his daughter, Lily Rose, was planning on dropping out of high school to pursue her career in acting and modeling. But his daughter was quick to point out that his stance was quite hypocritical, since Johnny Depp also dropped out of high school to pursue his passions in life. He's considered one of the most versatile actors of all time, but when he was a teenager, he had a very different goal. He wanted to be a rock star. At age 15, he dropped out of high school and fronted a series of garage bands, including The Kids. Eventually, he married his now ex-wife, Lorianne, and took up a job as a ballpoint pen salesman to support his new family. That's so strange and random that it does sound like a story only Johnny Depp would star in. Eventually, he became friends with fellow actor Nicolas Cage, who encouraged him to get into acting. He landed the role in the 1984 horror movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, and the rest is history. At least his daughter already had modeling contracts waiting for her to sign before she made the decision to drop out, instead of just hoping that her band would totally make it. Daniel Radcliffe. We all know that Harry Potter went on to do great things, despite technically not graduating from Hogwarts. Well, it seems that actor Daniel Radcliffe is in the same boat, since he never finished his schooling either. He starred as the titular character in the first Harry Potter movie when he was only 11 years old. Long days of shooting meant that he didn't exactly have time to go to class like a traditional student. His formal education ended then, but he wasn't particularly sad about it. Radcliffe describes himself as hyperactive and claims that sitting and listening in a traditional environment was often stifling to him. He claimed that he wasn't a poor student, he was just bad at concentrating, and thus was frequently regarded as an average student in terms of intelligence. But he and the rest of the Harry Potter cast had the benefit of tutors on set so that they could still get an education while filming. He would occasionally return for important exams, but that was about it. Understandably, he much preferred being on set and wasn't sad to wave goodbye to his formal education. He believes that education is to figure out what you want to do with your life, and he had already done that on the set. Hilary Swank. Unlike many other celebrities in similar situations, Hilary Swank claims that she regrets dropping out of high school when she was younger. This famous actress claims that she is embarrassed to admit that she dropped out of high school. She still has fond memories of many of her teachers, but reports that she had just as many unpleasant instructors. These teachers were quick to tell her to give up on her dreams of becoming an actress, and Swank found this devastating. Their negativity was so upsetting that she found she could no longer respect them as educators, and this made it much easier for her to drop out. We wonder how those teachers feel now that she's a successful, award-winning actress. But despite the rough time she had at school, Swank claims that her mother was always incredibly supportive of her acting career. Even when the mother and daughter pair were living out of a car, she never lost hope. Her mother would often use her last roll of quarters to make calls at a payphone, hoping to get Swank a meeting with an agent. Ironically, Swank would go on to star in Freedom Writers, where she played an inspirational high school teacher. We're guessing that she got paid way more to pretend to be a teacher than her bitter former teachers made. Paris Hilton. Okay, so this infamous heiress isn't known for her overwhelming intelligence, but considering that Paris Hilton is, you know, a member of the esteemed Hilton family, you'd think she would have at least finished high school. But not only did she not graduate, but she actually got asked to leave instead of simply leaving on her own terms. She once attended the ritzy private boarding school Canterbury, located in New Milford, Connecticut. There, she used to play on the school's hockey team when she wasn't flaunting her wealth and breaking school rules. Many big names have attended Canterbury, including reporter Dominic Dunn, Sergeant Shriver, and former President John F. Kennedy. Hilton was frequently in trouble for everything from her outlandish wardrobe to the slovenly state in which she kept her room and personal effects. Perhaps her most egregious offense was the way she blatantly flouted the school's rules regarding leaving campus. She would routinely be picked up in a hired car, sometimes taking other students along with her. By all counts, she wasn't an especially talented or hardworking student. Her ultimate offense was sneaking alcohol into a campus event. The school told her parents they could either remove her on their own or she would be expelled, and they chose the former. Walt Disney. Considering the legacy that he managed to build during his lifetime, it might not surprise you to know that Walt Disney didn't finish high school, but his reasoning may be a bit more of a shock. He didn't drop out in order to pursue a career in animation, but because he wanted to join the armed forces. That's right, at only 16, Walt Disney dropped out of high school in order to join the army. At that time, he was taking night courses on animation at the Academy of Fine Arts in Chicago, but he was willing to walk away so that he could serve during the First World War. But because of of his young age, the military wouldn't let him enlist. Instead, he managed to forge a birth certificate and join the Red Cross as his way of helping out the cause. You see, in addition to cartoon characters, Walt Disney was very fond of the United States government. He was so desperate to weed out communists that he even accused several of his own employees. Later on, he would go on to receive more Academy Awards than any other person in history. Eventually, Disney became a millionaire many times over, having founded the Walt Disney Company. At the age of 58, he finally received an honorary high school diploma. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Before she was an Academy Award-winning actress, Catherine Zeta-Jones was dropping out of high school. She was born in Swansea, Wales, and began taking dance classes at the young age of 4. That sparked her love of stage and theater, and when she was 15, she got an invitation she couldn't refuse. She was invited to join a production of the musical The Pajama Game, but there was a catch. It was a touring musical. This meant she would have to leave her education behind to travel with the theater troupe, which she did gladly. She left the private Dumbarton House School and never looked back. A few years later, she was taking on television roles including The Darling Buds of May and Catherine the Great. Later, she would move to Los Angeles, where her classic good looks and charm led to her eventually becoming a success in American cinema as well. In the public eye, she always appears well-spoken and perfectly poised, so it's strange to think that she was once a teenager dropping out of school. But looking back on her long and successful career, we very much doubt that she would change a thing. Were you surprised to find out that these celebrities didn't graduate from high school? Let us know who shocked you the most in the comments section. Then subscribe to The Taco for even more great videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.